Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, May 19th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a couple clarifications. Number one, the price you see over here will be changing and the candlestick you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. Stock number one here, PLTR, and what a monster move. Actually started yesterday, and shame on me for not recognizing this because, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that have watched past watch list videos, but if you have, hopefully remember me putting that trend line into play, and it actually happened a couple days ago when that trend line was broken. But unfortunately, I did not do it. Somehow I missed it, so I didn't talk about it on that break. But at that point, you can see Wednesday, very nice day, and then just today, that much more follow through. So just a monster breakout of that trend line. So for any of you that did watch that video previously where I put that trend line and bought that trend line break, a huge congratulations to you. But let's zoom in here now and get things updated from more of a near-term point of view. So first level that stands out to me, at least from a support standpoint in terms of potential pullbacks, right down here around $11.20. So keep an eye on that. And then definitely more so from a broader picture point of view, the overarching level is going to be that purple line down there. But I fully admit that's relatively irrelevant right now, given the price is way up there. But nonetheless, if you are somebody that cares about more so the bigger picture point of view, then yeah, you're going to want to care about that. As far as next potential areas of resistance, we're going to have to squeeze down the chart here quite a bit. In fact, you know what? This is a good problem to have. We're going to have to go to the daily time frame because that's, it's been a long time since the price has been up this far on the chart. So now each one of these candlesticks does indeed represent an entire day. Yeah, wow, we are going back here till, April of 2022. So next potential area of resistance can be that former area of support, which sits right there at the $12 mark. And just in case this beast move continues, better map out one more, which is the next key level being right up, that makes it easy, at about $13.15. So 12 and then 13.15 next key overarching battlegrounds. But yeah, look at today's action when I zoom back in. Huge move, huge volume. So let's see if the momentum carries into Friday. Next one, ENVB, and nice pattern here. So let me be very clear. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that me drawing this pattern is some special skill or some great discovery. The exact opposite. A lot of people will be drawing this pattern. And I say all that because when a lot of people are drawing the same patterns and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So the first key level of this pattern is going to be that basic trend line right there, which would be the breakout point. Then the other part of the pattern is more so just this downwards trend line right here, which is the support part of the pattern. So at this point, there's a couple different names you could use for it. You could call it a wedge, a symmetrical triangle, some sort of pennant. But the core idea here is that, are there guarantees? No, but is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price comes up here and pushes up through the top part of that pattern, that breakout in and of itself could just create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible outcome. So if you like to play this price range and you like to play these potential self-fulfilling prophecy type breakouts, keep an eye on it. Next one, BOIL, another big mover today, and it's been a while since this one has made such a move. But yeah, this one has the ability to move quickly, and I think that's why it's one of those popular ETFs out there. But nonetheless, let's get things mapped out here. And what I'm very curious about, in fact, let me squeeze this down here. And now I'm just because I'm curious now, is this some sort of big upwards trend line? And no, not really. I wasn't quite sure if that was a valuable trend line, but no, I wouldn't call it valuable. But what I do want to do is put a trend line from here up to there because it's looking like this is a very valid level where you can see the price has been respecting it. So if there is any sort of turnaround, I definitely keep an eye right up around there as a potential area of resistance that you'd want to at least throw a question mark of, okay, is the price going to get rejected? But if it does push up through there, that would be a sign of just additional pressure and strength on the bull's part. In terms of levels of support, key level from a pullback standpoint, going to be right there at $3.60, and then more so from a bigger picture point of view, next key level would then be that former breakout area right down there around $3.50. But all in all, huge move today, great volume, great momentum. So we'll see if the price can push back up there to that resistance trend line and potentially even push up through it. Next, WLGS, and I like this one to reintroduce that talking topic of self-fulfilling prophecies because you got to think that a lot of people have drawn that flat little resistance right there at $2.15. Maybe somewhere at $2.20, some maybe below, but generally speaking, right around that $2.15 mark seems to be a very, plausible area where if the price can continue to curl back upwards and get a push up through it, that could create, some good selling and buying pressure. In fact, maybe we have a bit of a cup and candle. So there's the cup. It's pulled back for the handle to move back upwards. So I don't know if you necessarily agree with that being a cup and handle, but I can see the argument made if people would want to argue cup and handle. But 215, that doesn't take away from the fact of that's going to be the key breakout point, whatever the pattern you want to call it. In terms of levels of support, you have this level down here at the $1.68 mark, but a little bit closer than that, you do have the key area of support right there, that pink line, which on my chart represents the 200 period moving average, currently valued at $1.81. Next one, AMC, and overall, it held up just fine, and this will mean more to those that watched yesterday's video, but if you have, then you've heard me talk time and time again about, let's keep this trend line on here. Let's keep this trend line on here. I think it's going to play a role. I think it'll come in and play a role, and wouldn't you know it, today, not only played a role this morning, but played a role once again this afternoon. So am I saying that trend line can never be broken? No, but am I saying that charts are a very valuable tool? Absolutely. And, you have real life proof of that. If you don't believe me, I'm not offended. All you got to do is go back in that video archive and you'll see that I put that red line in there a couple weeks ago, and here it's finally come into play, and, it's acted as a level of resistance. So without, saying much more, that's definitely going to be remains a key level of resistance right there. Good news is the price is very close to that level. So it very well could, break through it. But as of now, it makes sense why the price is struggling at this price range. As far as supports, nothing new here has changed. Still have that level at $5 and then down there right around $4.88. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency, to manage risk, you just saw an awesome example with AMC there, then definitely get signed up for this free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage. Now, one special note, it is a genuinely live event. So a couple things, if you're like me, I have 5 kids, so busy schedule. Maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening, or maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you just completely missed it. That's okay. Send me an email and I will gladly send you a link to the recording, because the event will be recorded, but because it is live, it first needs to happen. But after it happens and I get it uploaded, I would be happy to send you a link. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up. Next one here, GRAB, absolute bloodshed today, gap down, and then just dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. Now, to be fair, right now, it's seemingly starting to go sideways. So that's where things get interesting, because it at least makes sense now to say, maybe this is some sort of bottom that's finally forming. Case in point, let's just say that the price was still dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like it could be the bottom. You'd be completely justified to say, what are you talking about? The price is literally still dropping straight down. What do you mean it could be the bottom? But that's not the case here. It has gone sideways. But let me be very clear, just because the price is going sideways, and I wish I could say trading was this easy, does not mean for sure guaranteed it's the bottom. My point here is that it now becomes at least valid to question that. So $2.70 going to be an important level of support. If this thing does try to bounce, first key level you'd want to keep an eye on right there at $2.80. And after that, next key level of resistance up there right around $2.88. Next one, AMD, and the momentum continues. I think this is now the third day in a row I've done this one, just because it's one of those where, hey, things are started. Let's see if it picks up more momentum. And yeah, it continues to pick up more momentum. And we have that again with, we'll call it the self-fulfilling prophecy point right up here. You got to think that a lot of people have noticed that, okay, right around this 108.15 mark has certainly been a bit of a problem point. You can see some rejections there and then a rejection right there. So again, if it breaks, are there guarantees? No. But is it plausible to think that a lot of other people might just start breaking because another key technical level has been broken? Absolutely. If you're looking at more so pullbacks, then you have this bottom part of this little miniature trend line right here that could suffice as a more so pullback location for those of you that prefer to, structure trade plans around that. And then just from an overall pattern perspective, keep it one color, maybe make it easier to see. Red for resistance right there, green for support, and then the nice move up right there. So a good solid bull pennant pattern. But all in all, AMD continues putting those higher highs and higher lows, and from a trend building perspective, that's what matters most. Next one here, TSLA. Tesla did this one yesterday, and that's where these lines are coming from. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines down there as they serve their purpose. But the level here that you got to think a lot of people are watching, and an exciting question, always a fun question to ask, is if you look closely at this level of resistance, which I mapped out yesterday, you can see that the price is above it. Slightly, but it is above it, which brings about the fun question. Is this the start of something even bigger? Now think about that. You can ask that question. It makes no sense to ask the question if nothing has even happened. But because something has happened, aka the breakout, it does make perfect sense to now question, is this breakout the start of something even bigger? So if you're somebody that likes to catch breakouts when they're first potentially happening, like to catch waves of momentum, then certainly keep an eye on it. Now, to be fair, no guarantees, so that's why risk management matters, because maybe this is a fake breakout and it rolls back over. But that is a two-sided coin because, well, I mean, maybe it is the start of a much bigger breakout and this thing keeps ripping and roaring. So like I said, risk management matters, and that's why, but that doesn't take away from the foundation that this level of resistance has been broken. So you do get to ask that fun question, is this breakout the start of something even bigger? Next one here, AMZN. Probably should have put this with AMD because same general idea of the pattern. Not the exact pattern, but close. So you have this area right up here there. You got to think a lot of people have noticed 118.50 going to be a key level of resistance. And then from the support side of things, you have this trend line like that. So like I said, not the exact same type of situation, but very similar. So we have our support down there. And then just from a pattern perspective, to keep it all the same color once again, we have resistance, we have support, we have the nice upwards move there. So another solid bull pennant pattern on a very popular stock. So like AMD, Amazon is quite the popular stock too. So it makes that much more sense to start to boil in those potential self-fulfilling prophecies. So whether it's options or the stock itself, and you like these sorts of situations, I'd certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So when the NASDAQ market goes up, this one also goes up. So that is why this one is just absolutely beast mode in it. Because yes, as I speak, the NASDAQ has had an extremely powerful afternoon. Remember, each of these are 30 minutes. So each four of these candles means the past 2 hours have been essentially straight up. So very, very powerful portion. And we have the breakout. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these levels as they've all served their purpose. And that's really the question. Because right there was a breakout that occurred. So yes, you have missed the breakout. You can't deny that. But you do get to ask, we'll call it the Tesla question of, okay, yeah, breakout has happened. Yeah, this is going strong, but is this the start of something even bigger? Is this the sign that, yeah, this trend isn't anywhere done to being done, or being done to being, is it anywhere close to being done? There we go. That's the words I was looking to say. And we'll see what happens with it. So for those of you that are like, no, Clay, that feels like chasing up there, I don't blame you at all. So in terms of people that might want to play pullbacks or wait for pullbacks, very interesting initial level, $31.10. And then if you're thinking, nah, Clay, I think it'll need to pull back a bit more before it wants to head back up. Then another potential level down there right at $30.50. So all in all, I'd keep a couple of eyes on these, but as far as the chart is concerned, this is essentially in blue sky breakout territory. Now, yes, it's been higher than where it is now, but that's been a whole long time ago. So as far as I'm concerned, blue sky breakout. So it's really just a question of, do you want to try to catch some momentum, or do you think that that feels too much like chasing, like maybe you're suffering from FOMO and you want to play some sort of pullback? Then these levels give you a couple different choices from that angle. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, that I definitely want you to get signed up for the free class. Like I said, it'll be this evening, Thursday, May 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So hopefully I'll see you in just a couple hours. But like I said earlier, if you can't make it for whatever reason, then go ahead, drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the recording. All I ask is that because it's live, the event does need to happen, then I got to get it uploaded. And then after that, I'd be happy to send you a link to it. But hopefully you can make it live, and I'll see you in just a few hours. If you enjoy these top 10 videos, hit that like button, leave a comment below. Tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow. And those things always help out the channel. So thank you for hanging out, and hopefully I'll be seeing you here in just a few hours. If not, send me an email.